last few days we've been driving through the Yukon, up the Klondike Highway, and we have finally made it to the start of a new destination. We are at the official point of the Dempster Highway. Now the Dempster Highway takes us all the way up to Inuvik, and our destination is actually going to be even farther. We're going up to Tuktoyaktuk, which is up at the Arctic Ocean and above the Arctic Circle. Now this trip up to Tuktoyaktuk is going to be 548 miles long, and it's all on a gravel road. And we just ran into some people and they said that the road conditions were pretty good, but there are scary stories that people have said that they have popped their tires, they've hit potholes, there's frost heaves, so we are going to be extra cautious as we're driving our risky up because we've already had to deal with situations before and we're not going to put it in jeopardy this time, especially since we're in the middle of nowhere at this point. When we arrived yesterday in the area, we found that there was a lot of wildfires going on, so we had to stop and just take a breath and figure out what we were going to do. The wildfires are actually over in Dawson City, and just past that going up to top of the world highway. So we're going to be going up to Tuk and spending over a week up there, and hopefully by the time we get back the wildfires will be more under control, but they've completely closed off top of the world highway. So people that are going from this over to Dawson City to experience that and then continue into Alaska, they're going to have to go back south, and we just met a couple and they're pretty annoyed by that right now.
I did message our parents last night. I always do that where we're going to stay somewhere a little risky. And I showed them the video of the fire in the distance. And, well, you know, they weren't excited. But I let them know this morning that we were fine. It kind of dispersed everywhere now. And the whole place smells like a campfire. And we're just taking it easy and being mindful of where we are, constantly checking those maps, making sure we're safe. It's a little scary.
The best part about the beginning of the Dempster Highway, other than seeing this awesome sign, is the fact that they have a gas station right here for you, so you can stop off, top off your gas, or do a full fill up. And the gas prices from what we just had here are really not that bad. It was about $1.61 a liter, which is pretty consistent with everywhere else that we've been here in the Yukon. So just stop off here, fill up, because the gas stations are far and in between as you're driving. I think the next place that we're going to be able to get gas is over 260 miles, and that's in Eagle River.
Hi, this is Ashley from the future. Don't do it! Turn around! Okay, just kidding. Every experience is worth it. Right? Right?
Especially for people like me that like to touch everything. I have a problem. I have to know what it feels like. I get to touch all of these animals without being in danger. And I get to sample all the furs and see what they all feel like. This one's my favorite. It's so soft. I have no idea what it is because it's like a scavenger hunt, and I'm not going to sit and do all of it. I just want to touch them all. This is a beautiful room of death. This is feet. Oh, sorry, sir. That's his foot. Look at this foot. Crazy. Come look at this bird.
We just got to the point where we're at Two Moose Lake, and this lake is actually in a permafrost zone. So it's actually formed from the vegetation around, and the soil basically leaks the water into this area. But the permafrost is going to be 2 years that it takes to be frozen, and then it'll still get ice on top and whatnot, and that'll, during the winter time, that'll build up and then thaw out during the spring and summer. But what's really cool about Two Moose Lake is the fact that you can actually see tundra moose out here, Yukon moose, and they're the largest moose of any moose. I tried looking out. I thought I saw something maybe way across the lake, but I don't think it was a moose. So maybe during those feeding times of early morning or late afternoon. But I'm going to get back into the vehicle because I'm getting bombarded by mosquitoes.
This is some severe foreshadowing if I've ever seen it.
We are noticing quite a few new flying species. They are new because I've never seen a mosquito this size where I come from, and I come from Florida. There are swarms of mosquitoes here. It is so bad. Day, night, any temperature, even in the rain, they're out. They're swarming the car right now, and it is... I got chills, I'm itchy, it's disgusting, and he always has to go out.
This guy. I went to take him outside, and I didn't see the mosquitoes like right away, and then I went to the front of the vehicle, and I could see them, like, the black part of the grill of the van, I could see them in front of it, and it was hundreds of them. So there's thousands just swarming the van at one time right now. It's, yeah. Every like little thing that we feel an itch.
So Derek bought one of these. It works really, really well. I was against it because it's ginormous and we're not in like a house. We're in a very small space. But this has come in handy. Thank you for getting this. I thought he was being dramatic. There are so many. He came running in as fast as he and him could go, like as fast as they could. And we had to sit, and I was just doing this, and there was a whole mosquito apocalypse. It was just like zap, 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 zap. And I still keep seeing them because they like hide, and then they come out. Last night, after Pete's bathroom break, his nighttime one, we spent the next maybe 3 hours like in and out of falling asleep, and then we would hear the they're so loud, and we don't want a mosquito loose in the van because it will bite us and we will be irritated. So every time we would hear it, we would turn a light on and find it and zap it.
I'd have my phone ready, turn on the flashlight on my phone, look around, and then she would like grab the racket or vice versa. we didn't get
tag
any
teamed
sleep
it,
again.
and we got like no sleep because as soon as you start to fall asleep again, we would hear it or we'd hear Pete growl. He growls when he hears them. So he was like the notifier, and then he was lights, and I was action. And that was our night last night, and this was not the first time this has happened.
And since we just went through all of this, now this guy is like all nervous.
Stage 5 clinger.
He does not feel good about that at all. So
He usually isn't like right on top of me while we're laying around. He only does this when I'm driving, or when he's driving. He wants to sit on somebody's lap because he wants to see out the window and stuff. But when we're down for the night, he's like away from us. He's like doing his own thing. He's got his bone or whatever. He's never on my lap in bed.
Nighttime is when he goes and does his own thing. He gets away from us. In the morning, he's like a little cuddle buddy.
Yeah.
He's just so nervous because
he does not like the mosquitoes.
And he hears them. They're buzzing. He has been trained and now learning that he doesn't like the sound of that. So he's our mosquito hunter. So we're going to figure out what we're going to be doing. We're going to have to like move on after tonight and go down the road and find somewhere for him to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we're not getting out ever again. We live inside here now.
There's points where it's not as bad. I've gotten out, but there's other points where it's just...
This is wild.
You get swarmed as soon as you get out of the vehicle.
Now, we do have those toss-away pee pads for when we're in hotels and stuff. So, worst case scenario, we'll put one down on the floor in the bathroom, and we'll just tell him to go to the bathroom there. And he's very well trained. When I point to something and I say, potty, he'll just go. It's pretty cool. I don't know how he did that, how I trained him to do that, but he does. It's very helpful in hotels. So we might have to do that because I'm not going out there and I'm not allowing any surface to be opened.
Yeah.
I literally closed the vents to the air conditioner. Like, I closed all the vents, and I'm paranoid now.
Yeah. So, more of an update later on. Tomorrow we're going to keep heading north up to Northwest Territory, and from what we've heard from people is that there are grizzly bears up there they've seen coming back, and then we talked to a guy that was heading north that's kept in touch with us, so we're pretty excited about that.
Bugs outside. Bugs outside. Outside bugs. Okay, so I just took Pete out real quick. I got bit up. We drove a little bit out of the way so we could get him away from the mosquito infestation, but it turns out it's the whole place. The whole territory. They're everywhere. So I just went as fast as I could, and he had been holding it for way too long because he's a trooper, and so he went really quick. But as he's going, there's little mosquitoes landing on him, so I'm like swatting them away so he could just go to the bathroom in peace. In the meantime, I'm sacrificing myself. Stressed out. They're everywhere. It's so nasty. Ugh.
We've been dealing with some squealing for, I think, like the last 30 miles that we've been driving north, and we luckily just made it to Eagle Plains. And we pulled up to get the van checked out by the repair shop here. And luckily the guy said it's nothing serious. It's just you got a rock that's wedged up in there, and you can definitely get it broken up. It'll break up against the metal. Not a problem. It's always going to break up. It just takes some time. But he gave us a quick little tip. If we just drive fast and brake hard and then go in reverse and brake, the more you do that, the more it's going to break up that rock, and then it'll at some point just completely fall apart, and the squealing will stop. So kind of puts our mind at ease. He's going to take a hose to it right now and just try to spray out the rock, which is amazing. He's so helpful. He's just wanting to help us out, not charge or anything. So he's getting back over here, so I'm going to go check up and make sure we're all good.
Thermal couplers currently overheated, so the pressure isn't
Oh, okay.
on at the moment. But I'm trying to spritz a bit of water in there anyway.
Yeah.
Then you can fill up, and if it's still squeaking, hopefully the pressure won't be bad.
Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, I can always take the wheel off, dust it a bit, but then I have to charge it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Hopefully we can just make it up to Inuvik, if it's still giving us grief, and get it tested there. Freaking helicopter just showed up as we were getting everything checked out. Oh man, it is so dusty out there. It landed right next to us. This is insane. Oh my god. Ashley's protecting Pete. Look at this. She was crouched over him. Look at this thing. It's just right here on the other side. All right, we're gonna fill up with gas now. This is a really easy process. The touch screen is state of the art. It's the best touch screen I've ever encountered at any gas station. So this is a great fill-up station. This is probably the first place that you're going to go, is Eagle Plains, just to top off. I think we're just over 250 miles left, but we're still going to top off because the next major town is going to be Inuvik, I believe. So we're going to top off here and then continue to head up north and hopefully get up to the Arctic Circle today. Eagle Plains really isn't much, but they've got everything that you're going to need. They've got a hotel, they've got a restaurant, the gas station, and a mechanic, which is extremely helpful when you're driving the Dempster Highway. We made it to the Arctic Circle!
We made it!
Yes! It has been a long, vigorous drive, but we are officially at the land where the sun does not go down, at least during the summertime. So now we're going to continue moving up to Inuvik, and then up to Tuktoyaktuk. Here we come, Arctic Ocean! Well, we didn't travel too far down the road, and now we are in the Northwest Territory.
Woo!
We are going north, and what do you say? This is the farthest north I've ever been.
This is the farthest north I've ever been. This is the farthest north I've ever been.
Well, this is our camp spot for tonight. We are in the Arctic Circle and now in the Northwest Territory. It is just so vast, and we're on top of like a hill overlooking. There's nothing in sight except for the Dempster Highway that's going all the way north. We did have some friends tell us that there are grizzly bears. Pretty much as soon as they passed into the Northwest Territory, they saw some grizzlies, so we definitely have to be conscious of that, but we're gonna keep our eyes peeled, and it's very easy to see very long distances. You just have to keep an eye out and look for something moving or something that kind of sticks out in the landscape. The best part is that it is breezy enough where I see mosquitoes, but they're not like attacking me right now. It's like that perfect amount of breeze as one is like circling my head. But it's not as bad as it was last night. That was absolutely terrible. This is our decal. It is absolutely covered. It's so bad. The entire van is just covered in stuff. And it is thick. We're definitely gonna have to give it a car wash once we get back down south. We are getting settled into the van. We finally stopped, and as we were driving, the dust got into the van through the vents, and then I opened up the window to look at the views and get some shots. This entire van is covered in dust. It is so bad. Just like wiping the counter, it's all over. Even the inside of our noses are completely covered in black, so it's got to be in our lungs. We blew our noses out. She was like, "You want a surprise?" I'm like, "I don't like surprises, but what is it?" She goes, "Blow your nose." It's like black soot all up in there. So Ashley actually busted out her mask that she had that we wore like going ATVing when we were in the Dominican Republic or something. I don't know what it was, but we busted that out, and she had to wear that because the amount of dust from the road getting into the vehicle, it's really bad. So be careful as you're driving. Don't open your windows. Don't be an idiot like me.
near Peel River, and we needed to cross via ferry. So it was a very short wait for it to get across. And in the meantime, Derek decides this would be a great opportunity to fly the drone, which I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Since we were waiting for them to come across, he's getting it all ready. He opens the door, and he's going to put it out. As he opens the door, hundreds upon thousands of mosquitoes get inside the car. And then he comes running back in, and I'm swatting like crazy, trying to kill them all. Then so I'm driving now because I had to drive so he could do the controlling. So I have to pull up. The guy's ready for us to get on the ferry. So I get on the ferry, and I drive up, and then the guy wants to start talking to me. And all I'm thinking about is the loose one. I still haven't gotten the mosquito. There's still a loose mosquito. Stop licking. And then as I'm putting the window down, I'm thinking about all the mosquitoes that are going to get in. And I'm thinking about how I'm currently on a ferry and how Pete is losing his mind because there's a man coming up to the window, and how Derek has to deal with Pete and the drone. And then the guy starts talking to me, and I understand every 10th word he's saying. I'm really bad with thick accents to begin with. That's just me. And this was bad. This was hard for me. It was really hard for me. He said something about there being a rock in our tire. I'm like, yep, I know that. And then he said something about the fires. And I don't really know what he was saying, just that there's fires maybe. I feel bad, but there was a lot going on for my little mind, and I was freaking out. I was like, okay, yep, fires, yep. And I was like, okay, so finally we get across. I roll up my window. I start killing mosquitoes. We pull over, and then he gets out, gets the drone, and now he's back in the driver's seat.
It was so bad. She was like, Derek, can you come up here? I don't know what he's saying.
What are you saying? I don't understand him.
He was just making conversation. He was just a local, really nice guy.
Right.
But he's like, how are the fires down in Dawson? And I'm trying to listen in. And
way more than that.
It was a lot.
He was mumbler too. Like, I'm a fellow mumbler, so I get it. But it was a lot for me. For a normal person, it's no big deal. It's great. It's easy. But for me, I was freaking out. There was too many things going on at the same time.
I'll do the next river crossing.
You better have got the good footage of the drone. Hope it's worth it. Hope you like it. Ferry number 2. Mackenzie River. No theatrics. We're just gonna get across.
Historically, the ferries open in the first week of June and close the first week of November or the last week of October. It all depends on the weather and if the ice is melting or if the snow is coming. So as you're traveling, go to the website and check out if the ferry is open as you're traveling up. There may be other things that are going to be closing it down too based on weather or fires or anything like that. So you're going to want to go to the website and just check the status of the ferry a couple days at least before getting up into this area. A few other websites that you're going to want to check, and I wish that we would have checked before we made the drive all the way over to Dawson Creek, is the Yukon 511, Alaska 511, and then British Columbia has their own as well. And these can be apps or websites, but download them and check them twice a day, because I checked the night before. We drove from Prince George all the way up to Dawson Creek, and that was a 4.5 hour drive. And if I would have checked that morning, I would have known that there was wildfires in the area that closed off the highway, the Alaskan highway going up into the Yukon. And I totally regret that, because then we had to make a 4.5 hour drive back. And now when we got over to Dawson City, to get onto the Dempster Highway. Dawson City wildfires were going on, and the top of the world highway going into Alaska from the Yukon was closed off. And we've been hearing from people as they're traveling up, and people that are going back down, they're going to have to make their way south and then loop through Alaska through the south entrance, because the Alaskan highway is closed going, or the Klondike Highway going up to the top of the world highway is still closed off, and it's going to be closed for a while because the fires are really bad. We just got onto the ferry going over the Mackenzie River, and this river is much bigger than the first one that we did, and this ferry is also much bigger. We've got 2 semis on here, a car with a tow behind, another truck, like a regular truck, and then our vehicle. So they are holding quite a bit on this ferry. So as we're driving, the dust is coming through the back door and getting into the bathroom area, and it was just filling up this entire vehicle. So we've got the AC on now and the vent to like ventilate out the dust, but the bathroom is an absolute disaster. We had to close the bathroom door to try to keep it from getting in, but it's still getting in. The roads are so bad.
This is nasty.
The ledges are so dirty. Top of the toilet, this whole area. Like, look at, oh my God. Look at the Q-tips.
Oh no.
They're all dirty. So it's definitely coming through the crack in the door here.
It's too much. We're trying to figure out something we can do. So we thought about closing the curtain to try to stop the spread of the dust virus. It's so bad. And I put the magnet here. We have really strong, heavy-duty magnets. And then there's magnets on that already, so just make sure it's touching. We gotta try anything we can to try to seal this.
I think I just pulled this off.
It's bad. See how that goes. You see that dust, that layer of dust. How long have we been driving? Since lunch?
Since lunch, like 30 minutes?
Yeah, I was gonna say like 40. We cleaned this before lunch. Let me see your hand. Disgusting. Gross.
Well, this is embarrassing. Just arriving into a town, the loudest screech imaginable coming from our tire, feeling like the whole world is looking at you. Just some crazy tourists, that's all. Nothing to see here, people.
Last night we got into the town of Inuvik and we went to bed. We actually got a knock from an owner of some land that we thought that we would be able to sleep on, but apparently it was private property.
We all got knocked out. There's a bunch of us
There's
there.
a bunch of us there. So we found another spot. But today we are kicking off our visit in Inuvik here at the Western Arctic Regional Visitor Center.
So I asked the lady in there, she's a local, and I was like, what's up with the dust here? She's like, it's terrible, it's everywhere. It's like this every year. And I was like, oh, what about the mosquitoes? And she's like, I hate bugs. She's like, you just get used to them swarming you. I'm like, you just be itchy? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh.
I was like, are you immune to this or do you just deal with it? They're like, we just have to deal with it.
I was like, I thought we were being good by not being here in winter. But she's really nice. It's really cool here. I learned a lot about the history here. And we got a certificate. Basically saying that we're better than everyone else because we've gone to extraordinary heights. So some of the things that we got from Visitor Center. This is a really cool little pin. Inuvik, Northwest Territory. Very cool. We got things to do when we get to Tuk. We'll look at that in a minute. We got a coupon for gasoline. It's the best coupon I've ever got this day and age. And we got a Northwest Territories certificate of the Arctic Circle Chapter's Order of Adventurers. The Order of the Arctic Adventurers bears witness that Derek and Ashley Anderson, having demonstrated the initiative, integrity, and bold adventurous spirit of the true Arctic explorers who have crossed the Arctic Circle, will hereafter be recognized as an honorable member of the exclusive Arctic Circle Chapter of the Order of the Arctic Adventurers. Jealous, I know.
And what Ashley failed to mention is they offer free coffee and they say, do not be shy. So I poured myself a thing of coffee.
I hate coffee and tea, so it wasn't.
Yeah, that's not her thing, but that is great. Free coffee at a visitor center. Unheard of.
I have such mixed feelings about this. This is the softest thing I've ever felt in my life. to the equivalent of like a Walmart. There was clothing and health and beauty and a grocery store all inside. We wanted to see what it was like to shop here. And we were prepared to just be amazed by the prices, but I was a little taken aback by the animal furs that you can get. Now, those are not for us, meaning they're not for tourists. They're not for us. This is for them. This is their way of life. It was fascinating to see them all strung up like that, though. So, oh, and it was so soft. The softest fur I ever felt in my life.
We just went over to Bob's gas station. That's where we could redeem our coupon. So it got us 5% off our gas. So now we're gonna head up to Tuktoyaktuk. And I just asked the gas attendant like about how long does it take. Our Google Maps is saying 2.5 hours and 150 kilometers, but he said it was about a 2-hour drive, and they just repaved it last week. So I'm assuming like they laid better gravel down. So 2-hour drive, and then we are going to be at the Arctic Ocean. We made it to Tuktoyaktuk. We're at the top of Canada. This is the farthest that you can go on a road in the country of Canada. And we are above the Arctic Circle and just a couple miles away from the Arctic Ocean.
Guys, it's 3 a.m. and this is as far as the sun is going to set tonight. It's a little chilly out, but it's so cool. It's kind of like a ghost town, like a zombie apocalypse. It's daytime, but there's nobody around. It's wild.
We have officially made it to the Arctic Ocean. We're here in Tuktoyaktuk, and this is probably as far north as we're ever gonna go. Ashley's not here with me because we are being annihilated by mosquitoes right now. But this has been such an incredible experience. I'll never forget this. Today we're going to be touring around Tuk, and there aren't many food options here. So we're going to be going to the most popular option, which is Grandma's Kitchen, right here in the center of town. Let's go check it out now. just went to Grandma's Kitchen. We ended up not getting any fish. They didn't have any fish, but they did have dry fish. So we got dry fish. Well, yeah, obviously. They didn't have muktuk, which is whale blubber and the skin. That's pretty popular up here. We might have to wait until they actually start getting some whales up in here. But we ended up just getting a burger. So we got a burger and dried fish. Dried fish, that's local cuisine, so we're gonna try that out and enjoy our little lunch.
I'm trying it?
Yeah.
What if I don't like it? I don't even understand this. I don't know. I don't know. It's too much pressure. You do it.
Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. That's pretty good. A little scaly. It's dried fish.
I'm gonna give it another go. Now that I know the secret. Dried fish. Not my favorite flavor. Maybe if there's some sauce.
So if you're planning on camping or parking your RV or van here in Tuk, right behind me is where you're going to be camping out at. It's $30 a night without electricity, but it's $60 with electricity per night. Now you could pay for that over at the visitor center, and over there they told us it's cash only, but we didn't have enough Canadian cash on us, so the other place I'll show you now where you have to go in order to be able to pay with a card. So right behind me is the incorporated hamlet of Tuktoyaktuk. So they'll just call this the hamlet if anybody says that. This is where you're going to go to pay with a card for the camping site. And this is literally 5 minutes up the road. As you're coming through town, getting to the camping area, you can just pull off to the right, and this is going to be right there. And just go right inside. But I'll tell you something else that you might want to know. Now, I had never seen this before, but when I walked into the hamlet to make the payment, I looked down to the right and everybody's shoes were sitting there in basically the mud room. They were all walking around in socks, so I took off my shoes and I walked around in there, and then it just made sense to me after a little bit. The town has dirt basically everywhere, so you're just tracking dirt. You don't want to track that into their establishment, and during the wintertime it's nothing but snow here, so you don't want to be tracking dirty snow all over the place. So when you go into the buildings, just take off your shoes and leave them right there at the entryway. The camping here is no KOA. It's not an RV resort. You're literally parking on the side of the road. Yeah, you got to pay for it, but I mean, you're up at the Arctic Circle, you're looking at the Arctic Ocean. You're not going to get this anywhere else, and that money supports the town. Now they're also going to have porta potties that are enclosed in with doors and everything. So if you don't have a built-in bathroom, you do have that ability to be able to go to the bathroom when you're right here. And the last little thing about the camping here is it's not assigned sites or anything like that. You just pull in and you park wherever, and it's, I don't know, it's not completely organized, but there's not a ton of people that are here. Everybody's like in and out. They maybe come up for a day or stay for a night, stay for a couple nights. When you come up to Tuk, you're gonna want to check out the Pingos. They're everywhere as you're driving in. Now you're probably wondering what the heck's a Pingo. Well, the Pingo is actually an entire mound made of permafrost, and then the outside, the top, is covered in soil and grass and whatnot.
So when you hear the word Eskimo, you probably have a couple images that come to mind, as we all probably do from the lower 48. And that is because for several decades, the native people of the northernmost points of Canada were all lumped together in one group, and they called them Eskimos. Now, since they did not call themselves this, clearly that's not what they want to be called. So this particular group where we're near, in the Northwest Territory of Canada, the very tip top, these people are called Inuits. So the Inuit natives have their own culture, and there's 3 other groups up here. So there's 4 different groups in this region on the north area of Canada. And when they were all lumped together and explorers just decided to call them Eskimos, that's why we know them what that is today. And certain times that word is still used, academic cases and from history. But the people themselves are not, they don't call themselves that because that's not what they call themselves. So this particular group of people are super friendly. Everyone we've come across, and seeing their way of life is amazing. I never in a million years would have thought I'd be here. This is so cool.
The current time is 3:15 here in the Northwest Territories, and we've been
Been at it for about 3 hours.
3 hours?
3 hours we've been doing this.
Yeah. They are coming out of the bathroom. Like, what is here on the bed is nothing like what's in the bathroom area. It's an absolute, I don't know, murder scene. It's a crime scene in there. They're just like coming in, I think. Oh, God. There's hundreds of mosquitoes here that we're having to deal with, and they're just dying.
They don't stop.
It doesn't stop. They just keep coming through the bathroom door. This is the second time that we've had to do something like this. I think this is worse than the first one.
Yeah.
Also, we said Vanderson's after dark, but it's kind of funny because the sun doesn't go down where we're at, because we're still above the Arctic Circle.
Look at this. That I do.
Oh my God.
They're getting sucked to the window. No, close that.
Okay.
That is fine. Close this. I sprayed the perimeter And now I got a whole bunch of corpses here. This is the worst part of all of this. I have to hide him because he's so freaked out. But I think he's finally just over it now. This is disgusting. Who can sleep like this? Above your head. This thing is broken.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Ah. Gotta go. This is my worst nightmare. I would never have agreed to this lifestyle if this happened on day one. Not at all. It doesn't stop. Doesn't look like we'll be sleeping tonight. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. They're everywhere. We're trying everything. Just got spray, got the Raid. It's 4 a.m. I'm hiding under my blanket because I've given up. I'm so tired. I cannot kill another bug. I got my baby under here. Oh, I can't see. Derek's on his phone.
Well, this is what we woke up to. This isn't even like a small percent of what we were killing last night. We must have killed close to 200 mosquitoes, and then we wake up and see all of this.
So after driving all the way to the top of the world and back on Dempster Highway, we are 50 minutes to Eagle Plains, the nearest town where we could have some services. And well, our low tire light dinged and went on. The light went on and it dinged, and then we watched the pressure gauge just completely go down, 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 down. So we pulled over. And now we have a tire repair kit, and we're going to attempt to plug our hole. Wish us luck. We attracted some company. Derek's talking to him. Oh, mosquitoes are swarming him. What happened?
He was stopping to, he said he saw her flat. And it's flat now.
So, a couple issues. Not only are we 50 minutes away from the town where we could have had this done professionally, we're going to have to repair the tire ourselves. Fine. I actually know how to do this. I've seen this done before. But that means I have to, like, do it, which is fine. But there's a million mosquitoes out there, and I never wanted to be outside more than 30 seconds. So now I'm going to have to do this. He's going to help me, obviously, but I'm going to have to be out there. So I'm going to have to change and make sure I'm, like, mosquito-proof. But then before that, I'm starting to get shaky. I haven't eaten yet today. So now I got to eat, change. Also, I can go fix a tire. So we can go 50 more minutes and we'll be back in the town, which they could have done it for us. I would pay someone to do it for me right now, so I don't have to be outside.
Okay, we're gonna make our way out there. We got our rain jackets on. to protect us from mosquitoes. We're getting deeted up. Check this out. Yeah, that's 100% DEET. Let's see how it works. What else we have? We have here our battery bank, and then this is going to fill up our tire with air. And I've got it connected to this so we can just continue to just have full power with it. And then we've got our full tire plug repair kit. So we're gonna go out, we're gonna leave Pete inside, and we're gonna take this on.
Do you think you can move the car so that this is here?
Yeah.
Stop. Can you grab that Raid? Let's just spray the area real quick. It's on the bed by Pete.
What do you need?
To know where the hole is. It's here, but like under on this side. You got soapy water?
Look at you being a badass. You got soapy
I
water.
mean, you're not doing anything. You're not helping me out.
I'm trying to
You're running around me.
Fill this up with air. Where'd you think it was?
It's here.
Okay.
But like, where here? Like here, right here, right here. Like, where here?
Well, I also don't know why this isn't working. Oh, there we go.
Buttons, it's not working.
It's at 8 psi. Go. I got it.
I don't want you spraying my face. I want
Okay.
you to just use your hand and make sure it doesn't put my face.
Okay. Okay, you ready?
Fine. This is a big piece of thread. Here. Okay. You can pull it out.
Okay. Let's see where it's at.
Okay. You have to pull this up and this down.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay. Cut that excess off. Where's my phone? Let's take a picture of this. did it! And it's starting to rain.
No way.
We
All right.
plugged our tire, a tire, for the first time. Teamwork, way easier than IKEA furniture. If you can put together IKEA furniture, you're lifers. There is no separation in sight for you guys if you can get through putting through IKEA stuff. And we were very poor when we started out. We put a lot of IKEA together. Come here.
Mwah! My God. Ass cheeks.
Are so itchy. Let's get inside. Wait, fill this up. Fill this up.
Okay.
Start it, and then you can keep swatting. Lubricant, this is gone. You got the rest of the toys? I can't believe I'm the one that did that. When you bought this, I was like, this is a waste of money. Is it working?
No.
What? It's not, the air's not going in?
No, it's not turning on.
So back in my previous life, I had a flat tire and I had to get it plugged, but I was also dating a mechanic, and so I watched them plug it, like I watched them do it, and I was like, oh, well, that's easy. And 100 years later, I'm looking at the directions of the kit, the tire repair kit, and it's exactly the same, exactly how I remember. So I knew exactly how to change this, or not change the tire, but how to plug the hole. So when Derek bought the tire repair kit a few months ago, before this road we were going to go on, he had been doing all this research saying everyone's going to be blowing out tires left and right. So he was prepared, and I criticized him like I always do because he is an over-preparer, he's an overpacker, and we're in a situation where we cannot overpack. We don't have the room for it. So he buys a tire repair kit, and I give him the hardest time. I'm like, why did you buy a tire repair kit? You don't even know how to fix tires. Like, we're not handy. We would just call AAA. And I was wrong. I pulled it out, and I looked at the directions, and I was like, oh my God, I know how to do this. Like, it all came back to me. I was like, all right, this is what you have to do. And I was like showing him, like, I'm gonna need your muscle for some of these parts. But the worst part was the mosquitoes. So I'm asking him to like swap my face while I'm doing things, and then we swap, and I go, okay, now do this, and we're just like mosquitoes. But it was super easy to do, and we got it done. And I can't believe that I knew how to do that.
Oh my God, the mosquitoes are so bad.
Behind you. Were you able to do it already?
No. I did put the screw in and stop the air from flowing though.
Oh,
So I know where to twist in.
okay. Here, just wait a sec. I'll have this ready. Turns out that there's a leak right next to it, so it is a lot bigger than we thought. Or it's two right next to each other from the same rock. I don't know. All the tire pieces, all the like tread is all crinkly And we just bought these tires brand new before we left Wisconsin. So November, we bought these tires. December, January, February, March, April, May, June. 7-month-old tires. But it's this crazy gravel road. So now he's putting in another plug right next to the other plug, I guess. I'm not out there. Mosquitoes. Terrible. And it started raining. And again, we're 50 minutes away from service station, so if we could just get there and have a professional look it over, or we buy a new tire, that'd be great. Either way. Okay, so we were back out there. Mosquitoes, 1000% worse. That's real math right there. The hole was on the other side of the tread, so it was like another rock or the same one bent and turned in, I don't know. But it was a different hole, so it wasn't the one we just patched. So we have two patches, an inch away from each other. And now we're charging our air pump because it just used a lot of air to fill up before we realized it was leaking again. So it's charging and we will wait. And in the meantime, we're trying really hard not to scratch our mosquito bites. If you don't scratch them, they will not swell. If we scratched any of the ones we got last night, we would be in like an ER with welts everywhere. So if you just don't scratch your mosquito bites, just give it 5 minutes for the sensation to go away, it'll heal and you will not have a mosquito bite anymore. Trust me, I know.